live. Trouble with my internet. All right, this Hangout on air is live. You never know with the internet they'll say. They'll give it to you or you won't. This is Alicia Stringer here, always empowering success dreams, and here we are at the Millionaire Mindset Hangout, and we are going to learn 5 reasons of why you are still struggling with those negative thoughts and how to fix it. So we've got a powerful, powerful show. Lots of information here, so make sure you go ahead and get out your pen and papers. And after you're ready with that, make sure you can hear us. If you can hear us, if my microphone on the internet, please comment. And if you So I'm out here in Nashville, and it has been some cloudy, rainy days, which is, I think, has been kind of peaceful. I'm like, I love listening to the sound of rain, and some people just think it's so dreary or something, but it comes with April showers. April showers is bringing lots of flowers here coming out, and so it's been really nice. I'm just a single mom out here in Nashville, and my daughter's a little older, so she's in school right now. And we have Valerie coming out, and we are missing Greta of a half a dozen kids out there in Canada, and as well as Keisha. And I'm not sure where she is. I thought she'd be on. Sometimes family issues with her too. She has an 8-year-old boy and some more kids and grandkids, so I can't keep up with Keisha. She's a superwoman herself, and so Valerie's out there in California, and she has been having some computer issues, so she's on her phone, I think, traveling around. I don't know where she is. So maybe she's popping on, and we will see her come on multiple ways, and she has a lot of different mindsets coming out, so I'm excited for insights of this topic too, her experience that she's been going through. All right, Valerie, have you got it all situated?
You know what? I'm on here twice. I'm going to get off of my phone. Hang on one sec. Just mute me for a sec.
Okay. I'm not sure which one to mute.
Mute the phone. Mute the one on the phone.
Okay, I think I did it. Maybe. No. I don't know.
Okay.
The one I see you at.
Okay. Can you hear? Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Oh, shoot. I've got to figure out how to get off of this. Mute me again. Mute me again.
Okay. She's totally double muted. A second, we'll have to make sure you can hear Valerie because she's had double issues, phone and working the laptops. I really appreciate you guys coming out. If you can tell us where you're from, we'd really like to introduce you guys coming out on the Hangout here. Okay, Keisha says she's running late. She had a meeting to go to, so she'll be on here in a minute. And she's out there in Philadelphia.
Okay, can you hear me now by chance?
I know she's writing some notes.
Can you, Alicia, if you can hear me now, go thumbs up. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yes? No? Not yet? Okay.
Yes?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, no. Okay, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, great. All right. I found a way to shut off the phone, and you got me here now. All right, cool. Yeah, just quick introduction of who I am. I am Valerie Jumpfullskim, mom freedompreneur from Abundance Now, and I've got, like I said, 2 twin 5-year-old boys, and my usual naked kid alert. They'll be coming out soon, and I'm very excited for what we're going to be talking about today because this could be transformational for a lot of folks, and this is why I do what I do. So I can be home with my kids. Yesterday was Monday. We went to the beach, and there was nobody there, and being able to actually have abundance and make money, being able to, does it really matter? They really help transform people's lives and live the life that I really want to love to live and help other people do the same thing. So that's why I'm here, and I'm very excited about what I've got to share. So together here with Alicia, I'm going to just pull up my notes. But I'm going to pass it back over to you, Anisha. I just want to make sure my sound was working. Is it working, Alicia? Are you there, hun?
That's what this style is about, is to be able to say, so
Alicia, can you hear me, hun? Oh. Okay, folks, looks like we lost Alicia. We lost the connection. Hopefully she will be able to come back in like a minute or two. So otherwise, if she can't hop back on, there's some kind of a connection issue on Alicia's end. If for some reason we pop out because she can't get back in within 5 minutes, because that's what will happen because she started the Hangout, stay tuned. We will come back. We will come back. And eventually on the page, this will be here as we might do it in 2 parts, but it looks like she might be coming back. So I'm going to quickly pull up my notes here, and so I have them in front of me. And I'm going to start with talking about while Alicia is working her way to get in here, because we're talking about, what it is, what might be holding you back in terms of your negative thoughts. And I want to first get into what happens so that there's an understanding what's really going on. Oh, Alicia, you're back. Hooray, hooray. I don't know if you can hear them. I have like a little bit of internet connection. Okay, so I let everybody know that it seems like you're having internet connection issues, that if you pop out, if you end up popping out for more than 5 minutes, stay tuned. We'll create another connection and we'll be back on, because it looks like there might be some connection issues on your end. I was just going to start getting into some of the reasons, understanding what happens. So there can be an understanding of maybe what happens when somebody is in a place of negative thoughts, right? And then lead into some, solutions of how to be able to move past them. But I think for having the awareness of what causes them and what the results of them are can lead to the better understanding of how to move past them. Is that making sense, or do you want to start with sharing something else?
That's great.
Okay, yeah. So here's the thing, and a lot of this, by the way, I'm just going to give a shout out as well. Michael Bernard Beckwith. I know all you folks know. I follow a lot of what he says, but a lot of this came from an information analogy that he's made on a lot of this. And fear. Well, we'll getting into each of the different pieces of it. Okay, fear. If you're in a state of fear and you're worrying about your future, what that really is you're projecting a worst case scenario onto a future that hasn't happened yet. And I love the analogy that Michael Bernard Beckwith makes on it, that it's kind of like you're paying interest on money you didn't borrow, right? When you're worrying about a future, something that hasn't already happened yet. And a lot of folks feel like somehow, and I used to think this way a lot, and it was that somehow by worrying about the future and like thinking through all these possible negative things that could happen in the future, right, and rehearsing them in your mind, that somehow that's being responsible because you'll be prepared for the worst case that could happen and you're ready for anything. Okay? And I'm saying it that way because that's kind of how it feels when you're in it and you're worrying about the future. Because I gotta know what's gonna happen and I gotta be prepared so that I can handle anything that comes my way. I know that's intense, but that's really how it feels inside. It's scary, right? You feel that energy. What happens? And I used to think that was the responsible thing to do, right? But here's what's actually happening when you're in that place of worry about your future, okay? You can feel that energy of what I just put forth, and it probably just kind of freaked the hell out of you. A little bit of pattern interrupt, but it probably freaked you out watching it. But if you're honest with yourself, that's what it's like on the inside. And what that does is it releases these toxic chemicals inside of you that literally has the effect of stopping the different hemispheres of your brain from talking to each other, and prevents your frontal cortex from even actually seeing reality with a capital R, and seeing solutions and being open to ideas and opportunities of what's possible. Okay. And you're also creating a vibration, and what you focus on is what you get, where you're literally attracting the very thing that you're afraid of. So on two levels, you're creating, you're self-prophesizing, you're actually creating the very thing you're worrying about, right? And you're blocking your ability to be able to actually do wonderful, positive things in the present moment, which all we ever have is the present moment. Right now, so everybody take a deep breath. Okay? What you need to, in every moment you need to take a breath. In every moment we're breathing. Every moment is the now. A second ago, before I said take a deep breath, that's now the past, right? And what we're talking about now, a second ago, this is the future. All we ever really have is right now. I mean, in reality. And if you're blocked from being able to take the most positive action in the now, imagine what the future you're creating, if you want to look at it that way. Also, you're literally attracting it. For those of you that understand and believe in the law of attraction, those of you that just want to believe in action, and I am the power of my actions, heck, it stops your actions. It stops you from taking positive actions. It works on both levels, whatever you choose to believe. It works on, like, I'm going to say, with that gravity, I don't care. I'm going to take my cell phone, I'm going to drop it on the couch. Okay. I let go of it. I'm on planet Earth. That sucker's dropping. Whether I believe in gravity or not, it's dropping. So it's really imperative to do, Michael Bernard Bethel calls cool your mind out of a place of worry and fear, because it is not productive, it is not helpful, and it is not the most responsible thing you can do. In fact, it's actually the least responsible thing you can do is to continue to worry, right? And when you're doubting yourself, you're kind of doubting who you are. And I'm going to throw out some things that, you may or may not choose to believe in, but I'm going to suggest to believe in them because it's a more powerful place to be. And that is that, there is the universe itself, everything, the basis of it is that there's a love intelligence that governs the universe. Many people call it God. Okay. Some people have an issue with calling it God because of some upbringing, maybe negative experience in their childhood with it. But if you want to call it God, you want to call it the love intelligence of the universe, you want to call it, that's the essence, the presence that underlies everything. If you believe in love, you're believing in the same thing. I'm just going to say, all right? If you believe in compassion and you believe in love and you believe in all of that, it's the same thing. And we are all emanations of it. If you want to say we're children, you want to say God created you, if you want to say you're emanations, however you want to say it, there are no accidents. I'm just going to get real esoteric with you. And if you want to shut me down on this, that's up to you. If you want to open up and hear it, this is really powerful. I've just chosen, I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to speak my truth today because I think it's that important. And when you can become aware of who you really are, there are no accidents. There are no mistakes, right? And allow yourself to be in connection with that. You have so much to give. Every single one of us is unique. And that's the other thing, we are unique. Because some of the other issues that come up with negativity come from a comparison factor. All right? So you've got your fear and your worry, which is about projecting into the future something that hasn't even happened, that is actually not responsible. And you've got your doubt about yourself, and some things that can come up with you when you compare to other people. Well, other people, we are each unique. And we each have a unique gift to give the world. Everybody, I don't care who you are, what you're watching. And comparing yourself makes absolutely no sense because your gift is different than the other person's gift. And I took these notes, and it's like when you start comparing, what ends up happening is, I'm going to pull down when I get down to this part. He calls it like the, what do you call it? The unique apocalypse of the four horsemen. You've got Scrolling down to my notes of where I put it in here. La, 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 la. A little bit further up. I was taking all these extra notes this morning to share with you folks. Because how you see yourself, and I'm going to make a suggestion later as we go. There's a very powerful, one of the most powerful questions that you can ask yourself, and I'll get to it. The most powerful question that you can ask yourself in the present moment that will transform your life. And I'm going to get to it, and it's going to help you to literally snap out of what's going on inside of you and snap out of these negative thoughts and your fear and your doubt and your worry and all of that, and literally transform your life. And I know that may sound kooky, but it's extremely powerful. If I'm just going to scroll down to where I have this, the description here, I'm going to get to it. Here we go. Yes. It's the vibration of the 4 horsemen of apocalypse, which is when you get into comparing yourself to someone else. And this is what they are: jealousy, envy, rivalry, and malice. Now, jealousy is, and I want, before I go here, I don't want any, please, if you get the thought to kick yourself and say, oh my goodness, I've been doing that, don't go there. Being aware of the fact that you're doing it, it allows you to lift your vibration. So this is not about feeling negative about yourself. If you notice what I'm about to say, that you're doing it, I want you to go, yes, I'm noticing it. Yes, I'm noticing it. That lifts you up from out of it. You're immediately separating from it. Okay, so the first one is jealousy. And that's when you want what they have. You look at someone else that's making more money than you, or they're in a relationship, or whatever it is that they've got, a better health situation. For those of us in the millionaire mindset, you're here probably because it's about money and financial abundance. I want what they have. Jealousy. You're in that place.
Good to have jealousy because you want to know what other people are doing, what other people want, and you want to align yourself with those kind of things. Not that you really want it for that you are upset that you don't have it. I think it's a way to kind of look up and respect someone as well.
You know what, though? There's a difference. There's a difference between the jealousy that, you want what they have, as opposed to knowing what you can have. Because, and I know I've struck a chord here, and I'm glad, because I'm sure somebody else just had the exact same thought that you just raised, Alicia. So I'm going to raise it, and we can have a debate about it. And you know what? All of that is going to cause folks to really look at this, because I think this is really key. Because everybody thinks there's a difference between having a celebration for what someone else has, right? Going, yes, they're a multimillionaire. Yes, they're a millionaire. They're making 6 figures. They're having those sales, and having a celebration of what they have, knowing that it's also possible for you. It's difference between celebration and wanting it like I don't and they do. It's a subtle shift. It's a shift. It's a different place. Okay? And that's the difference between jealousy and having it, because when you have a dream of something, you see that someone else has it, and you're excited for them, it can become an awareness that it's already yours. Like for me, when I see someone else have an incredible success, let's say they just they just crossed that $1 million mark. They just crossed that place of a financial place. We're talking finances, of a place that I have not achieved yet. Okay, and I can be excited for them and go, "Wow, yes, they did it." In that moment, and I can see myself having the same thing, right? I allow myself, if that's something that I want, I see myself, it's already mine. There's a difference between, I want to have that. Okay? I wish I had that. I want what they have. That's so cool what they have, and I wish I could have that. I want that. And I feel the energy of that. To, oh, yes, they got that. And because I can experience the celebration of it, I automatically know, oh my goodness, it's mine too. It's already mine, and my way of getting it will be different than their way of getting it. In the actual specifics, we may be using the same system, we may be using some of the same tools, but my actual day-to-day, my moment of the pieces and the actual moments of time of whatever of how that's happened, it's going to be slightly different. Everybody's is going to be different, right? Because we're all different. It's a difference. It's a shift. It's a shift. it's kind of why we say to be in community with other people that are in the same realm of your dreams, of what it is that you see for yourself, because it's about allowing yourself to know that it's already yours. It's a difference between wanting it and knowing it's already yours before it's physically manifest in front of you. It's a shift. It's a very different adjustment of a shift. And I'm going to go into the next step under that, which is envy, which I know a lot of us here don't have, but it's something that folks can get stuck in. I don't want them to have what they have. That's where envy comes in, where I don't want them to have what they have. It's different than jealousy. Jealousy is this feeling, oh, I wish I could have it, and I don't, and they do. And the other is envy, where you don't want them to have it. There's the rivalry where we are against them. My team is better than your team. My this is better than your team. La 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 la. Right? And malice is when you actually you hate them and you'll do anything to stop them from getting what they have. And there's unfortunately some folks that get stuck in that. But it all stems from that place of doubting what's possible for yourself, doubting who you really are, and doubting that you are like you're like the sunbeam. You're like the sunbeam of the sun, right? And that if you want to say, you were created by God, you're a child of God, you're an emanation of the love, intelligence of the universe, however you want to call it, to know who you really are and what's possible. Because the step that goes past that is like when you can separate, but you can cool your mind out and separate yourself out from realizing that when you're projecting a worst case scenario into the future, it's not reality. But you're creating it if you go there. It's like the worst thing you can do is to actually worry about your future, because you're going to create the very thing you worry about. And it's all about this present moment. And what do you do in this present moment? And if you're doing in this present moment is rehearsing a negative future, that's what you're creating. And you're blocking your ability to be able to do anything positive in the moment other than send out a vibrational energy of negativity into the future, which affects that and doesn't allow you to be the most positive that you can be in the present moment and taking positive actions, right? And aligning yourself around, it's like everything that comes in, you end up looking at the negative because that's what you're keyed into. And that's what I found myself did for years. That's what I did, and got myself into horrible situations because I created them by believing by worrying that was going to happen. And the thing is I say, but that's my situation. It keeps happening over and over and over again. Yes. If you're going paycheck to paycheck, that's what keeps happening over and over again because that's what you're worrying about.
If you know that it's happening over and over and about, and you want to change that, shouldn't you just focus on, that positive thing? How can you keep changing it? Because you know that's happened, and if you focus more on how you're going to change it, can't you start eliminating the thing that's always been there over and over and over?
Exactly. You just stepped into it, Alicia. You stepped right into it, right? You stepped right into what the next step is, because that's just it. If all you're doing is worrying about the future, it ain't fixing it, right? It doesn't fix it. Well, first of all, you're creating something that is a fantasy. If you're going to fantasize, you might as well fantasize about the good stuff. You might as well be like living and breathing. If you're going to go through an imagination of scenario of the future, and this is why we always talk about that, is when you see that person that just made $1 million, or they just achieved something in their business, or they just achieved something physically, or in relationships or whatever, start seeing yourself with that, which is different than I want it, because it's an awareness that the very moment that you have that feeling of wanting that specific thing, if you have the awareness that it's already yours, it's different than wanting it, because it's that knowledge that it's yours. And then you can imagine just as heavily as you imagine your worries of the future. Instead, go that deep into the imaginings of the future. But beyond that, the most powerful thing in the moment, which is this, it's asking your question, a question in the moment of, what is my gift to give right here, right now, in this moment? in this moment. And it could be a simple thing like a smile to someone, or it could be compassion or patience or anything. I mean, it could be whatever it is, but allow yourself to ask that question of, what do I have to give in this exact moment in time? And then the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment. And it's that process that allows you, because when you're in that with the awareness of who you really are, that you're, if you want to call yourself a child of God, if you want to call yourself an emanation of God, if you want to call yourself a creation of God, and you're no accidents, there are no accidents, and that when you ask that question, you separate from all that negativity, and on a continuous basis allow yourself to be connected to that awareness of who you really are and the way the universe really is, that it really is love. Of what it really is, the essence of the universe is love. The essence of the universe is compassion and giving. Whether you come from the space of you're looking at it from the universe, or whether you come from a perspective that it's God. However you define it in the positive sense, continuous awareness of that and your role in it, that you have a unique gift in each moment to give that is only yours to give. And you ask moment to moment to moment, what is that? You know, we all have a blueprint. Hi, sweet pea. We all have hi. Yes, sweetie. I will, and as soon as I'm finished, sweet pea. That we each have this unique gift to give, right? And ask yourself in the moment to moment, what is that to give within our blueprint? You know, like when you connect with us, those of you that are already in our system, you know we have a blueprint. You know what to do step by step. If you haven't already, you want to know, you know, connect in below step by step. But even within that, it's, okay, what's that step? What am I going to talk about? What in this moment, what do I have to give? And you give it from moment to moment to moment. What happens is, instead of having toxic chemicals, what you end up activating within yourself, even within your body, is positive. Sweetheart. Oh, he just.
Guys, ladies, how are you?
Yes, I'm gonna pass it over to Keisha, and then I'll come back. I was gonna focus. My little guy just came into the room, and I want to focus on him. Hang on one sec. But just one quick thing is you activate the positive chemical. You activate the positive, which allows your hemispheres to talk to each other, and you're actually open to what's positive to take actions. You're open and available to do it. And I'm gonna mute myself out and pass on, because I got to go take care of him for 1 second here.
Awesome, Valerie. I just wanted to just chime in a little bit on what you ladies were saying and what Alicia was saying, where if you're in that negative space, get yourself out of that space. And I was watching a video which talks about the miracles and how this one woman she asked for love. She asked God to give her back love. And in all of that, she learned to love herself, but she found that what she needed to do is just stop. So if you find yourself with the negative chatter, in a negative space, with the negative energy, around negative people, what we want to do, what we call a pattern interrupt, and just say stop. Whether you're saying it out loud, whether you're saying it to yourself, when you find yourself thinking of those negative things or imagining negative things that are going to happen to you in the future, stop. And I thought that was so profound. It's that simple. Just stop. Like Alicia said, get yourself out of that situation, or stop. And then begin, like Valerie said, to talk about the positive things. Talk about the realization that you are a phenomenal person, that you can achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. And surround yourself with positive people, because we are all connected. We are all connected in this energy force. We talk about vibrations. We talk about just setting out the right energy. And you have to do that by being around more positive people. So if you know that you have negative family members or a negative spouse, or, you know, my children sometimes are more negative than I would like them to be, I always encourage them on how they can change that and speak positivity, speak positive, and speak life into things. Don't think about the bad things that can happen. Think about the good things. And I have to remind myself that as well, because I know how evil this world could be. So sometimes I, worry, and it's not for us to worry. So what I do, I immediately stop myself and say, Keisha, you're not going to think about those things. You're going to think about the good things. You're not going to think that that could happen. Think about positive things that will happen. Just believe that everything will be good, and everything, I believe that I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. So as soon as I start having that negative thought, that's what I tell myself. My family's covered by the blood of Jesus. I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. So we're covered. Nothing bad is going to harm us or, come against us. So guys, whenever you're having those thoughts, just tell yourself stop and start thinking positive things immediately to get yourself in the right energy. Alicia?
Totally. There's things you can do, like you said, is just to stop. But you're been in this forward motion sometimes as so much negative stuff that I feel like you have to take action to feel like you've really officially stopped. And one things that I've done is there's this video that I saw. Probably this last summer or something, that music has such a powerful effect to those negative thoughts that there is actually a video showing what water does when it's frozen against different types of music, against negative, minor sounding, evil types of music, and what the water frozen would look like compared to, the happy, the classical, the movement that's going in positive direction, that shares love and everything. And it has such a beautiful formation of the icicles or the ice, and of the negative music according to the what the ice and the water formation is such an ugly look, and it's so weird to see the comparison of what the beautiful music sounds like compared to the ugly, evil, sad type of music, and what the formation of even water does to the different types of music. So how you're filling your brain and your mind just with that different types of music and stuff in there. Now, I'm telling you, I like that negative, minor type feeling, but there's a part where even in different classical composers like that, they switch immediately over to the happy. They go from minor to the happy really fast and have those different emotions. So you can see just the powerful effect of just transferring that stop, breathe, there's a rest, there's no moments, and then you hear the happy or the boom, and like in Surprise Symphony, you're going off, and you just make that transition in that moment. So there's different things that I really emphasize when you're going from the negative to the positive is to stop, make that music transition, move it to that positive, and it becomes so powerful in the actions that you take in order to have that energy into the positive. You have to overcome like 10 times fold in order to push that energy into the positive sometimes.
I agree. Music is so powerful with changing or setting the mood. You know that saying, music soothes the savage beast, right? So whenever I start to get in a funky mood, I start to listen to my praise and worship music, or just music that makes me feel good. Put a smile in my heart. So it's so true about music and the effects that it has on a person's mood.
Yeah, being the musician here, I have to make my plug in, right?
Yeah, I got excited when you started talking about it, and I know how much, what a wonderful job you do as a musician and a teacher, so I know you know tons about that.
I know we got to add some more music to this hangout, too. We got to add our happy dance, in here. So different things Valerie was going on from the reasons you're struggling with negative thoughts is she came up with the fourth one of fear. I know I've seen the last one, and I think you're aware these negative thoughts you're building, it helps you know how to find solutions for them. So there are several books, like I've read from Anthony Robbins, and one of his books shares some of the solutions, and he goes through major ways of all these negative thoughts and feelings, and it was very powerful to be aware of what those feelings are, what the negative feelings are, so you are more aware of when that happens to you. In fact, he gives you some ideas of solutions going, what are you feeling right now? Write that down. Write what you're feeling down. Is that negative fear? What exactly is that? Does it make your fingers sweat? Does it make you feel clammy? Does it make your head hurt? You know, what are all your symptoms in there and the feelings? And he just goes and describes how some of the feelings can be described the same way that are the same thing. So it could be fear, and it could be anger, and it could be, you know, all these different types of things, and really clarify what that feeling is, and then you're able to identify that. You know what, when that person says that to me, I always feel this certain way, and you're able to identify that feeling every time, and you're starting to recognize, you know what, when I'm around this person, I get this type of feeling of, you know, whatever they said to me or whatever, and just document that down. And whether you really understand how to find a solution for it, you're actually starting to recognize that feeling that you have. Maybe you're around somebody, or when that thing happens to you, and then you're able to figure out how can I fix this solution of that feeling that I get, like every time I'm noticing in the same, you know, event that happens to me. And once you find that what that is, you can actually focus on that solution that you're like, you know what, I don't want to feel this way anymore. This is the way I do want to feel. I want to feel happy, and, you know, I got to get rid of whatever the feeling that is when I'm around that person or that situation that happens. And you're able to fix that solution because you've noticed in that day that you're identifying that. So I liked his book. I'm going to have to find it and share a solution for it. Probably one of those powerful influence ones that Tony Robbins has. and if when you document your feelings throughout the day, and just do this for, you know, 7 days, 21 days, it becomes such more powerful. You can find those feelings and find solutions for those. So I see Valerie maybe jump back on settling her kids, and so maybe you can jump back out and share some more of your thoughts of finishing up your that was it called the vibration of four apocalypse. I don't know.
No. It was the negative vibration of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. But I want to move on from that because I already talked about that. But it's you know, and stepping into asking that very powerful question. It was just because I said we were going to start with an awareness of what's actually happening when you're in those negative thoughts. I mean, what's going on? And it's the idea that when you're in that space, you're actually activating toxic chemicals inside of you, which also affects the ability of the two hemispheres of your brain to talk to each other, and your frontal cortex to be able to when you're in a positive vibration, positive feelings, happy feelings, and all of that, love, joy, compassion, all of that, you know, what happens is you literally open up your frontal cortex so that you're open to I don't know how to put it, but the wisdom of the universe, the love of God, whatever you want to call it. You're open to the most powerful. You want to call it your subconscious, your unconscious, whatever you want to call it, the powerful, positive stuff that you're not seeing. That's what opens you up to it. And when you're in the negative, you're closed to it. It's blocked, right? It's totally blocked, and so you can't even see past your nose. Other than darkness. I mean, I know when I was in the depth of it, it was like a big swirling dark hole. That's how it felt. And you know, the ways out of it, two ways are, you know, one is you're always asking yourself, what can I give? But a lot of one of the most powerful things, and this was something, and it's really, and this sort of gets into, you know, a metaphysical mysticism of all of this, but it's going in and feeling your abundance, even when you think you got nothing. It's allowing yourself, because if you have the awareness of who you really are, and that's what it is, it's on a daily basis, moment to moment, as much as possible, going back to that awareness, stopping, like you said, becoming aware of your, like what Tony Robbins says, you become aware because of what you're doing. Because a lot of us, like I did this for so long, where stuff would happen in my environment, and I would knee-jerk react to it. I was living in reaction to my world. And if it was a happy thing around me, I felt happy. And if it was something that could be negative, I would react negatively. And instead of me being the source of coming from here, I remember there's one other thing, really important piece is that oftentimes and people don't realize this, when you start this process, because living in this space of all this negativity, when we make the choice to say, you know what, I'm choosing to allow myself to see something different, to believe that I am something wonderful, something special, something unique, and that I have something incredible to give to the world, to believe in the connection and the oneness that Keisha was talking about, all of that, right? And all of this that Alicia was talking about, what you guys are talking about, is like, when you go there, what happens is it's kind of like the seed that's about to break through into that beautiful plant. It breaks, chaos happens, because you're breaking out of your lesser self, this self that you've believed is who you are and how you feel and how you operate in the world. It breaks. So like the caterpillar, right, that all of a sudden it's like surrounded by this cocoon, and then it's like it's breaking out of it. The butterfly is waiting to, the cocoon needs to happen, and the breaking of the cocoon in order to have the butterfly. So what happens often is chaos occurs. And what a lot of people do is they freak out when the chaos occurs and go, oh, there's chaos and I'm doing something wrong, when in reality it's the process of this wonderful unfolding of the universe in your own life, so that the good can finally manifest. The stuff that you've always wanted, you're getting out of your own way, and it's breaking off. It could be a relationship that breaks away, that is no longer, that's not serving. It could be that. It could be lots of different things. It could be just crazy stuff, and it's within that chaos, and this is where it's the most powerful thing, is within that chaos to be able to go in and remember who you really are. Like, really remember, allow yourself to see who you really are, and see and understand how everything really works. That when you're in the positive, that's what ends up creating in your life, and you allow yourself to create that without, even if you don't even know how it's happening or the process of how it's happening, but to feel the order that something is happening, and allow yourself to be able to actually feel your abundance before, even when you've got nothing, not only nothing, but actual chaos around you. When you can feel love, even if you're not in a relationship, the one like a love relationship with someone that you want to be in. When you can feel health and wholeness, even when you have a diagnosis of something, okay? Feeling that, going into that space and really believing it. I started this at the beginning with like knowing it's already yours. Believing that you have feeling that you have it, even before it's manifest around you. And from that place going, okay, what is my gift to give in this moment? Moment to moment to moment. And it's again, it's like having this awareness that the chaos is maybe not necessarily a bad thing. It's part of the process of movement. And I've given this analogy before, the person that all of a sudden has this vision, I want this gorgeous house and it's a mansion, and then the house burns down. Well, maybe the house has got to burn down to go. Like for me, my life, I'd sitting in my office surrounded by my papers, pregnant to the gills with my twins, hormones running amok, right? And I'm looking at everything going, I want to be home with my kids. I don't want to be, I don't want to be sitting in an office. Here, my child needed me. I was able to pause and go take care. Thank you, Alicia, Keisha. But it's like, I'm here with them. And I made that, and I felt it, and I felt myself, that world of being able to be home with my kids as opposed to sitting in an office and having some other person raise my children in daycare or nannies or whatever. And not to say that it's bad, any of you folks that are going through that, it's just, I knew that's what I wanted. And what happens? While I'm on maternity leave, the studio goes bankrupt and lays me off, right? Breakage, havoc, chaos, right? Stuff happened. And, I could go down the path, and I'll be honest, I went there a couple of times of like, oh, what's going on? But the reality is, had that not happened, it would have been too comfortable for me. It would have been easy for me to just go back to the office and not be living the dream that I had said that I wanted, to be home with my kids and doing the things. I wouldn't even be here with you guys right now. I just wouldn't. I'd be still sitting in my office surrounded by my papers having somebody else raise my kids. Maybe I'd be lucky if I was able to tuck them in when I got home instead of being able to have this time. Like yesterday, lying on the beach with them. I took them to the beach for a couple hours, and they were playing and building sandcastles, and I lay there and I listened to the ocean and hugged them, and they crawled on top of me and said, "Mommy, I love you." And we were playing and stuff, and that, I mean,
powerful. Just beautiful. It's a beautiful feeling.
you know. So it's and when we get to the end, I have like a really short exercise. It'll take like a minute to do of something of something you can say to yourself as well. In addition to to kind of lead into that place of then asking, okay, in this moment, right now, what do I have to give? And it can be as simple as a smile if you're in a weird surrounding with other people. I mean, and just listening to your life, allowing it. But I'm gonna pass it back over to you guys.
Yeah, that's powerful to know that transition. And I remember Candace was giving out at the Superwomen call like that saying of transition that you can move from, and it's just such a positive saying that you can say over and over, just to whenever I was in those dark moments transitioning from my divorce to figure out where I go, I remember I was like, there's nothing else I can do. And there was another guy that was going through divorce like at the same time. He had such a tough time mentally. You're such in a dark spot all the time. You can't figure out how to lift yourself up. And whether you're in it or motion or what, there's like something you can say that's positive, that and listen to yourself record it and say it too. That just got me out going, let me say my manifesto, let me memorize this. And when you're focused on the words, whether it's really sinking to you, it's really you or not, just repeating that, knowing that this is positive words, this is what I want to be, this is where I want to go, and you don't have any subconscious hidden thing that's bothering you about saying it, because I know some people, religiously, that might bother their subconscious or something to say stuff like that. But something that you feel comfortable that this is who you are, this is where you want to go, and you repeat saying that manifesto or saying that over and over, and you've recorded yourself, and that it took 15-20 minutes every morning while I'm walking or whatever I'm doing, put it on a schedule that I'm doing. It was so powerful to help me going, I can get through this because I'm saying this every morning, this is my goal, I'm going to go do this, and that just helped me stay stronger every day. And so those are some powerful actions that you can do. Overcome actions 10 times with this negative stuff that goes on, for sure. Thanks, Valerie.
Yeah, and
how about you, Keisha?
I was just gonna add that the brain is so powerful, and when you talk about those affirmations and repeating it over or listening to them, I know I've learned, and even just I mentioned, Valerie, about this video that I just came across, and it really was not even, it was about a gentleman who is in jail for 2 life sentences plus 100 years, and you wouldn't think that this video was going to be about all of the things that we share with people, about how your brain is very powerful, and that when you speak to things, like, it doesn't know that that's not really what's happening or that's the future that you're talking about. It's believing what you're saying. And it we only use just a small portion of our brain. So it's so important to just do the things that will stimulate the positive energy and the place where you want to be, and get your brain working more for you. So that's why we say do the readings, listen to the audios, say those affirmations, stay in the zone of gratitude where you're thankful. Valerie shared, even if you don't have it, you're thankful. My family think I'm crazy. Even people, when I say I'm thankful for my husband because I know he's coming. He's not here yet, but he's coming. And I believe it and I receive it. And I tell myself this. That's something I thank God for every day. And I know there's a process. There's things that had to happen so that I can have this loving relationship that I aspire to have. Mm-hmm. So, guys, you want it, you got to think it, you got to believe it, you got to tell yourself it over and over. I mean, we've shared, if you missed any of our previous ones, go to our page, our business page, and check out some of our past events. We have tons of techniques to help you with that. Tons of techniques. We could talk about this for hours upon hours upon hours because there's so much that we've shared. So I encourage you to go to our page, give us a like on Facebook, Millionaire Mindset Hangout. Take a look at some of our previous exercises and hangouts, and just get all the knowledge that's there for you to help you achieve your goals. So, Val, I'm going to turn it back over to you if you're ready to do that exercise now, because I'm ready.
Yeah, I am. One other quick thing just to say is that there's also, for those of you that are already in our system and connected with us, we have, and if you haven't already, connect in below and we'll get you plugged in. There is an inner circle exercise. You go in and over there's a little thing, click expand, there's a PDF. This is a long sucker. If you're going to print that sucker, I think it's like 20 pages, but it goes through a step-by-step process where you can ask yourself the right questions and have it, and then do the same thing that what Alicia is talking about, of then you have that with you, either visually, some people are visual, some people are auditory, if it's reading it and feeling and believing in the present moment, or hearing it, or maybe it's a combination of both, depending on who you are. Everybody, we pull it in a slightly different way. And it's a very powerful exercise. In fact, for me, when it was first given to me, it's now available to everybody that's in our system. When I first got it directly from the person that created it in the system there, and I used it, I stayed up really late. We all stayed up really late that night to do it. And everybody that did it, their businesses exploded and doubled. I mean, literally doubled within weeks, if you want to get on the business side of things. And me, you know, when I did it, I think within 2 weeks I had my first $3,000 day. It was pretty crazy. You know, no guarantees on anything, but it was really powerful. What? Oh,
can I do a firefly on a water?
You know what? And you know what? When I'm in a few minutes, sweet pea, I promise.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay.
That makes me gonna be so happy. I'm gonna kiss you.
Oh, you're so happy you're gonna kiss me. I love you. Okay. Okay, little kitty. Oh, here comes the kiss. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Gotta have those kisses.
So anyway, just saying, so, you know, for those of you already in, you know where to go. Everybody else, click in and we'll guide you how to get access to it. Because it's the same thing when Sarita was on and she talked about twice a day, that was part of her thing. It was that exercise. That's what she was using. Just FYI. Okay. What so many others with what we do. So, okay, here's what this exercise is. It's very short, and it kind of needed all of what we said before in order for this to have the value of it, because the words are, I am, I have. And before we get into it, the I am is realizing who you really are. Not all this other stuff, not the doubt, but who you really are. And for those of you that it's okay for you to feel your connection to the oneness of the universe, to feel your connection to God, if that's, you know, however it is for you, but or if it's your, you know, who you really are. I am and I have. And the I have is the I have because you already have everything. You don't realize it, but you already have it. In the moment of any of your dreams, you already have it. So it's acknowledging before it's physically manifest in front of you, even if right now you got chaos and you could say, I got nothing, that you already have it. You already have that relationship. You already have that abundance, whatever that abundance is and what you're focusing on right now, whether it's financial, relationship, health, or all of it. Okay? So that's what it is. And we're going to say I am and I have. So I'm going to say it, and then you guys say it. And those of you watching, I encourage you as well to say it out loud. Even people think you're nuts around you. Okay? If you have to whisper, even whisper, whatever it is. Okay, so I'm going to go for it. I am, I have.
I have.
I'll say it and then you guys say it. I am, I have.
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 And that's it. And then ask, in this moment, what do I have to give?
Mommy.
And then just give it.
Mommy.
And that's it.
Awesome.
Mommy.
Thank you. And be powerful because your imagination just rolls with
And
it.
any of our audience, I know we have Merle Brooks that's out here and happy to be joining us. And Greta, she says she always loved your energy and passion on these Hangouts, ladies. I can feel it all the way over here in and amongst all the liveliness from my half a dozen kids. Thank you so much for your wisdom and your heart, and we love you, Greta. We miss you, and we hope everybody's getting better and doing well, and we hope to see you on here with us next week. We love you so much.
Powerful. Next week, make it happen. Fix those negative thoughts this week and have an amazing week. We'll see you next week on another amazing hangout next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click the link below. We'll connect with you and connect with us on Facebook and all the social media. So click share and on our fan page and everywhere we can find you guys. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.